This is the Tigers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What a weird game. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm your host, Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. And the Tigers fall to the Athletics. I know we're not saying Sacramento Athletics, the A's, and in just a weird game where the Tigers had a 3-0 lead and the A's scored the last 8 runs of the ball game, including a grand slam off Tarik Skubal. So we'll talk about what went wrong, where it went wrong. All of my biggest talking point, our turning point, and of course, our player of the game. So buckle up, dial it in, and I know it's late, but fire up that comment section for me because this one turned quickly. And as always, today's episode can be heard wherever you get your podcasts as part of the Locked On Podcast Network, free and available, and on YouTube, the Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. We invite you to like today's video and subscribe to the program if you haven't already. Locked On Tigers, and although tonight didn't go the way we wanted, we'll have plenty of more fun shows as the season continues to unwind here. But man, oh man, I'm watching this game, and yes, the Tigers go up 3-0. And I'll have more on this in our turning point. But in that 7th inning, in a 3-1 ball game, a chance to add on and unable to do so with the bases loaded. And the A's, give them credit, they took advantage of some costly Tigers mistakes and then ultimately get the big swing and the grand slam off the bat of Shea Langeliers. And it's so, I guess I wouldn't say, not shocking, but you just don't expect that from Tarik Skubal. And, I'm talking about it. So, and I haven't said it yet, but obviously this is our biggest talking point. So here we go. It's the talking about segment.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The biggest thing with that inning, the A's, to their credit, load the bases with nobody out, and Skubal does the hard stuff. He gets 2 strikeouts, and obviously that's going to be our turning point as well, but it's also our biggest talking point because I'm scratching my head thinking, okay, you did, and obviously it's not that simple, Jake. I'm not trying to simplify it to the point of why didn't he just get Langeliers out? That's not what I'm suggesting at all. It speaks to the prowess on the mound that Tarik Skubal has to be able to overcome it goes down as an infield single, but Torque should have scooped that ball. And then the fielding error by McKinstry to load the bases, which you can't give any major league team additional outs, but he gets the next 2 batters to strike out. And after he struck out Bleday and Langeliers up, and I know Langeliers does a lot of damage and has had a good season, but maybe I'm alone. And I'm sure I'm not alone. You can let me know in the comments, but didn't we all just kind of, because of the greatness of Tarik Skubal, assume that he was getting out of that inning after the first 2 strikeouts, and in a game that had gotten unexpectedly tight? Because again, you go up 3-0 with Skubal cruising on the mound. I would have loved to see the Tigers add more to that 3-0 lead, but they didn't. You still feel really, really good about your chances. And I think Jason Benetti and Bobby Scales, by the way, making his TV analyst debut, did a tremendous job. Enjoy him on the call. He does such a great job on the radio side of things. In fact, I remember when Bobby Scales first started doing games on the radio when I was working at 97 Won the Ticket. We all thought he was excellent. But I know I'm getting sidetracked, but everybody, including Benetti and Scales, I think everybody in the stadium thought that the Tigers would cruise to a victory in this one. And it just unraveled so fast. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these comments. Would love to hear from you. Demetrius McNeil leads it off. Jake, that grand slam turns the game around after Wenzel Perez pops up in foul territory with the bases loaded in the 7th inning, and that rejuvenated the Athletics. Got to come back next game as a result. That's well said, Demetrius. Per usual, you got the summary down packed, and it's exactly how I feel as well. Guy Merritt says, oh, that was rough indeed. And Chris Agar says, weird game, but it's baseball. Weird location, weird errors, weird Skubal misplaced fastball. That about sums it up. And yeah, I mean, this is, I don't want to beat this point into the ground, but the A's story is so sad. And to play in a minor league ballpark as you're trying to convince, the Vegas move and all the owners and everything. I mean, Oakland was a great baseball town. I know the Coliseum was not up to standards as an MLB ballpark, but I mean, I selfishly as a Tigers fan, there's lots of memories in that ballpark. Some great playoff baseball, Verlander doing his thing, and some great series against the A's. And for the A's to be wearing those awesome Kelly green uniforms and just such an iconic franchise and playing in a minor league ballpark in Sacramento as they wait for a stadium in Vegas, it just doesn't feel right whatsoever. And I've mentioned on this post-game show before that future in-laws, fiance family were Oakland Athletic season ticket holders. And so I get that perspective all the way around, but John Fisher just sell the team, man. Embarrassing. Let's continue to get these comments in. Jake Goodwin says, I believe Skubal threw the right pitch. He just didn't get it in as far as he wanted it, unfortunately. Yeah, he missed with location. He actually missed with location a couple of different times tonight, but he's just so dang good that he can get away with it from time to time. And his final line is just, I guess it's not puzzling if you've watched the game. I mean, you saw it all unfold, but if you're, out of town box score hunting and you see 6 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, one of them being earned and 12 strikeouts. I mean, his changeup at the beginning of the game, and Benetti and Scales both said this, it's the best it's been in a long time. I mean, the amount of movement and the swinging strikes for Skubal were there. I mean, this is 21 swinging strikes. He had really good stuff tonight. He just didn't locate when it mattered the most. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but it was after 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded and nobody out. Thomas is up next. He says McKinstry and Torkelson with crappy defense and another crap decision by AJ. I'm not sure what the crap decision by AJ was, but absolutely Torque and McKinstry, they got to be better than that. And they know that. They would tell you that. They have to than that. Guy Merritt says, never say as the season unwinds. LOL. I don't know if that's on me. I don't know. Amber is up next. She says, better luck, Tigers. Go Tigers. You can make it. You can. Absolutely. Dominator says, brutal. Coven says, dog days of August are hitting Skubal like a bus. He'll be fine. There's no doubt in my mind. He'll be absolutely fine. Mike thinks the Tigers are jet lagged. I would agree with that if they came out completely flat and didn't show any life whatsoever, but they're in position to win that game. And it's unfortunate. Dominator says only one other pitcher gets worse run support than Skubal. Dude is not staying here. I dread that conversation repeatedly because if the Illich, Chris Illich and Scott Harris and everybody else doesn't find a way to get it done, I will be as depressed as everybody. The dude is up next. The infield missing on making outs killed Skubal. Indeed. And I think we can all get the exact same synopsis of this game. Tigers had a chance to blow it wide open, up 3-0, bases loaded. They don't. Ace load the bases. Skubal gets 2 big strikeouts and missed on a pitch to Shea Langeliers. And then the Nick Kurtz home run, he's just been hitting the cover off the ball, so it adds a little insurance there. Let's continue to break this one down, and I appreciate Thomas here following up on his first comment. The crap decision from AJ was leaving Skubal in to face the righty. And I hear you. I think your comment has merit. I think your thought process has merit there, given the matchup and how much AJ loves matchups. That said, and I'm not normally the AJ defender, so this is uncharted waters for me, so bear with me. But the thought of handing the ball off to somebody other than Tarik Skubal, righty or lefty, matchups be damned. I don't know if you have a better chance to get a batter out in a high leverage situation than you do with Tarik Skubal on the mound. And again, hindsight's 2020. It proved to be the wrong decision tonight. So I totally get that as well. All right, let's take a quick timeout. We'll keep the lights on. And we got time for one more comment here from Nate Harlow. Skubal is definitely one of the best, but he's not invincible. His changeup is probably his biggest strength because he's so good at it, but unfortunately, that's also his biggest weakness. The problem with changeups is if you make a mistake with it, like throw it too high, it ends up right over the plate. Good hitters will know exactly what that looks like. Yeah, I think there's some truth that I'm not going to argue with that. I would add that Skubal's best changeup is better probably than anybody in all of baseball. And I think we can agree on that. Let's take a quick timeout and be back with our biggest turning point, one guess on that, and our player of the game. That's next on Alive, Locked On Tigers Postcast. Hey, today's episode of the Locked On Tigers Postcast is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Transfusion for the win. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. And golf, we know it's all about good times with good people and good flavors. The great ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. That's 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Master Tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Today's episode is also brought to you by our good friends at FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. Hey, that could be today, if you're listening to this later and not live, or technically it is today because we're past midnight. We're all over the place for just 24 hours. FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. I saw a report that the Lions are the most bet team to miss the playoffs. That's crazy. Take a flyer on the Lions to win the Super Bowl. This is our year. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day away and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. All right, time to hit our biggest turning point where the game turned lopsided and upside down and on its head and everything else. I think we all know what this was.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The obvious is the grand slam from Shea Langeliers. However, how we got to that point is also a part of where this game turned. Tigers had the bases loaded in the top half of the seventh inning in a 3-1 game. Wenzel Perez pops out. I'm not going to put it all on Wenzel, but you look at that seventh inning in the top half of the seventh inning where the Tigers had some chances, and the way the inning played out, I just felt like they were going to score because it all came with 2 outs, but Carp walks, and then Riley Green singles, and then you get the Torque walk, and it's there. You're ready. That game is just ready to split at the seams and the floodgates to open. And when Perez pops out, it was kind of a deflating letdown. And then credit the Athletics. They come right out in the bottom of the seventh. I mean, they get the leadoff homer, and then then an infield single, a double, and a couple of Tiger airs. And the infield single, again, Torque should have scooped that. And one thing after another, and I've said it time and time again on this episode, but you get the 2 strikeouts and you just don't finish the job. So major bummer where that game turned, that's for sure. How about the player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Be fair on this one, and the Athletics, I mean, they score 6 runs off Tarik Skubal. That in and of itself, albeit one of them earned, but the 4 RBI in the grand slam for Shea Langeliers, he gets your player of the game nod. But same 2 teams back at it. Hope you'll stay up late with us again tomorrow night as the Tigers and Athletics will play game 2 of the series. All 3 games are night games. No getaway or no day baseball on getaway day, unfortunately. Charlie Morton will go for the Tigers tomorrow. Osvaldo Bido for the Athletics. First pitch, 10:05 Eastern. Stay up late with us. There you go. A couple more comments. I'll try to fit as many as I can in here. Mike says American League West just knows how to play against the Tigers. 16-13 so far. That is true. I know the Rangers took 2 or 3 from the Tigers not too long ago. We have had some success against the Angels this year, which is a rarity, it feels like. And then, yes, obviously the Mariners and the Athletics doing their thing. Okay, one more. M. Higgs says Detroit is snake bitten by Oakland. They never play well against them, especially on the road. But 2 more games. Series isn't over. Can still win the series. And that begins tomorrow night at 10:05 Eastern. Thanks as always for tuning in and for staying up late. Much appreciated. If you're catching this on the next morning, that being said, hey, we'll do this again as Charlie Morton goes for the Tigers tomorrow. My name is Jake Rietma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Rietma. Make sure you like today's video and subscribe to Locked On Tigers because it doesn't cost you anything. That's right. It's free content. And check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley and the Locked On Lions Squad show that I am a part of. You can catch that on Thursdays at noon, or this week with no game kicking off, we'll also be doing a Locked On Lions Squad show on Tuesday at noon. Thanks so much and have a wonderful rest of your night. Tigers lose to the Athletics in the series opener. 8-3 the final. We'll try again tomorrow. See you.